Good morning, Year 6. I hope you had an amazing, wonderful, fantastic, beautiful weekend, 3-day weekend, and enjoyed some time with your loved ones. So we're going to go on to applying and revising our understanding of metric measure today. But before we go on to that, I want you to have a think. What is 11 in Roman numerals? That's a tricky one, isn't it? 11 in Roman numerals is easy peasy. X is 10, so one more than that, we put our I next to it, xi. Super. So for today's lesson, we're revising and applying our understanding of metric measure. So you'll remember I said you need to practice something in order to perfect it. So today we're going to continue with that. But before we start with that, a quick note to parents. If your child is continuously finding the work set difficult, then please do watch the videos at the suggested links for what you need to know already before completing this lesson. I haven't put it on here because it's a revision lesson, but for some of the previous lessons I've said maybe go to this site and go to this site and practice that before you go on to that day's lesson, because it does help. And that might mean that you don't go on to that day's lesson that I've set on that day, and that is perfectly fine. Every child progresses at different stages, and we know that all too well as teachers. So if your child needs to take a step back before they can take a step forward again, then please do that. Okay, help them to take that step back before they take a step forward, because we have to learn to walk before we can run. So they have to take the steps needed for them, so everything else makes sense later. So use this time to just fill in those gaps if you need to. And you can also email your child's teacher and do let us know how your child is finding the lessons, because we might be able to offer some support, advice, or give you some work to help fill the gaps in their knowledge before they move on to a specific area of maths, which is what we'd usually do if we were in lesson, if we were in class, we'd assess, actually we need to do some work with this child on this before this lesson, and that's what we would do, okay? We understand that this is a stressful time, being at home 24/7, not knowing what's happening. We understand it's a stressful time, and we don't want to make it any more stressful. So please do get in touch if you have any concerns. And lastly, we'd like to thank you for your support, because it really does make the greatest difference. Your support makes all the difference. So thank you. Okay, so you remember I said that we need to revise something a number of times in order for it to stick, in order for us to fully understand it and memorize it. So we're going to do some revision today. So key vocabulary revision. We talked about, we've used a lot of abbreviations, ML, MM, L. We need to remember what they mean. So I'm going to put some up on the board, on the screen, getting into school mode again, up on the screen, and then I'd like you to write down the full name of that measurement. So MM, what does that stand for? If you saw this my fingernail is 15 mm, what would the mm mean? KM, MI, G, LB, ML. Pause the video here whilst you write them in. Excellent. So mm is millimeters, kilometers, miles, grams, pounds, milliliters. So I'm just going to do a quick starter, just like we did last lesson, where I'll go through a series of questions related to the topic that we have been learning, and then we'll go through the answers together. If you've been feeling really confident with this, I know who some of those children are based on the work that you've been sending to me, but you probably know who you are too, then pause the video now and write down your answers. Excellent. For the rest of you, here are some resources to help you with your answers. 24-hour clock, kilometers to miles, little poem, and something to help us with conversion. Pause the video. Fantastic. Let's go through the answers. If I am 216 months old, how old am I in years? 216 divided by 12 gives me 18. I am 18 years old. That's funny, that. It's my age. Add together the number of days in July and August. How many days is that? Well, we know we have 31 days in July, 31 days in August. That's 62 days altogether. The time is now 23:09. What time will it be in 78 minutes? 78 minutes is the same as 1 hour and 18 minutes. So 23:09, 1 hour later, would be 00:09, and then we add on our 18 minutes to give us 00:27. Convert 13,000 millimeters into meters. Well, to get from millimeters to meters, we need to divide by 1,000. Our answer is 13 meters. There are 12 inches in a foot. If a person is 5 feet and 5 inches tall, that might be written like this: 5 inches, 5 feet, sometimes written 5 apostrophe 5 in inverted comma. Then how many inches tall are they? 65 inches tall. Which volume is greater? And to work that one out, we do 12 times 5, which gives us 60. And then, because we know there's 12 inches in 1 foot, but if we've got 5 feet, we times it by 5. And then we add on the additional 5 inches to give us 65 inches. Which volume is greater, 240 millilitres or 24 litres? For this answer, we're going to put on our logic hats. That's right. Put it on. Fix it. 240 millilitres, well, we know that's less than a litre because we need 1,000 millilitres to make a litre. So we know already that 24 litres is greater because 240 millilitres is not even a litre. The distance from Harrow to Devon is approximately 280 kilometres. What is this in miles? Now remember our magic numbers when converting from miles to kilometres, it's 5 and 8. If we're going from kilometres to miles, then we start off by dividing by 8 and timesing by 5. So 280 divided by 8, then times that by 5, you get 175 kilometres. What does this symbol, this wavy equal symbol, mean? It means approximately equal to. Well done if you managed to get those. Now we're going to have a go at some problem solving questions together. So for the next 9 slides, I have some questions which I will ask you to pause the video after the question, and then we'll go through the answers together using my explanation. You may well agree with mine, or you may well think of a better way, or it might not make any sense. Either way, I won't take offence. So let's get started. Teddy thinks his chew bar is 13.2 centimetres long. Do you agree? Explain why. Pause the video here whilst you work it out. Fantastic. Hopefully you all said that you do not agree with Teddy. He is wrong because he is not measured from 0. It looks as though he's began measuring from 4.6 centimetres all the way up to 13.2 centimetres. 13.2, so the difference, we need to use that and work out the difference between those two numbers to actually work out the length of Teddy's chew bar. So 13.2 centimetres minus 4.6 centimetres gives us 8.6 centimetres. So his chew bar is 8.6 centimetres. However, answers in the range of 8.5 to 8.8 will also be accepted. So, well done. So let's go through this question together. Ron's dog is about a quarter of the height of the door. Ron is 3 times the height of his dog. Estimate the height of Ron and his dog. So pause the video here whilst you work out your answer. Fantastic. Let's go through this together. Ron's dog is about a quarter of the height of the door. But do we know the height of the door? No, we don't. There are no exact measurements given in this question. So we have to estimate what would the height of the door be. And we can work out, do we think the door is going to be about 2 centimetres tall? No, that's far too small. Do we think the door is about 1 metre tall or 2 metres tall? Which one do you think? Yeah, that's right. It would be about 2 metres tall. In fact, to be specific, the height of an average door in the UK is actually about 2.4 metres tall. But we won't be specific for this question. We're just going to use estimated numbers, so about 2 metres tall. So now we've estimated the height of the door to be about 2 metres tall, which is the same as 200 centimetres. Now we can use that to help us work out the height of Ron's dog. So a quarter of 200 is 50 centimetres. 200 divided by 4. So to find a quarter, we can halve it and halve it again. Half of 200 is 100, half of 100 is 50. So his dog is about 50 centimetres tall. Now Ron is 3 times the height of his dog. So 50 times 3 gives us 150. So Ron is about 150 centimetres tall. His dog is about 50 centimetres tall. And we estimated the height of the door to be about 200 centimetres tall. Well done if you managed to get that. Mo thinks that 12,000 grams is greater than 20 kilograms because 12,000 is greater than 20. Now we know Mo's wrong, don't we? But why is Mo wrong? Pause the video here whilst you explain your answer. Fantastic. Mo is wrong because he's comparing amounts using different units of measure. We can't do that. We need to ensure that both amounts are the same unit of measure before we can compare them. So to convert 20 kilograms to grams, we need to do 20 times 1,000, and that gives us 20,000. So now we know we've got 20,000 grams. Now 20,000 grams, 12,000 grams. Which one is greater? Yep, that's right. 12,000 grams is less than 20,000 grams. 20,000 grams is greater. Well done if you managed to get that. Put these capacities in order, starting with the smallest. Pause the video whilst you do that. But before you do that, don't make the same mistake Mo did. Make sure you're using the same unit of measure for each of them. Go. Fantastic. So before we can go on to comparing them, we need to make sure that we've converted, I converted them all into litres. Now some of you might have chosen to convert them into millilitres, and that is fine too. So 3,500 millilitres is the same as 3.5 litres, because we know milli means 1,000, we need 1,000 millilitres to make a litre. So we divide that number by 1,000 and we get 3.5 litres. 330 millilitres becomes 0.33 litres. 450 millilitres is 0.45 litres. And here are our answers. So now we've put them all in the same unit of measure, all in litres. Now we can compare them. First of all, we're going to look at all the ones that have 0 litres. They don't even have a litre. And then from those, we can compare them. So we can see after the decimal, one of them has a 0, so that one's going to be next. After 0, there's no 1s, there's no 2s, but there is a 3. So 0.33, 0.4, 0.45, 3 litres and 3.5 litres. Excellent if you managed to get them. And don't worry if you didn't. Practice, practice, practice. Go over the lessons that we've done on capacity and practice it again. Practice makes perfect. Now we're going to go on to another question. And this one is a bit trickier, so definitely take the time to slow it down and really decipher what the question is asking you. And this question, I actually saw something quite similar on a mock foundation paper for GCSE. So although obviously they'll be harder than this gives you an insight of some of the questions that you might come across later in life. But more importantly, you need to know this because when you go shopping, you don't want to be picking up anything, any bottle, thinking, oh yeah, that one's cheaper, I'll get that one because it's got this on it, or I'll get that one because I can see this. You need to be able to work out how much you're paying per litre, how much you're paying per gram, what deal is best for you to buy. So this skill is really, really good skill to make sure that you always get the best deals that you can when you go out shopping. And often a lot of people don't look at that. They look at the numbers and they don't bother to work out what they're paying per gram or per litre. And so therefore sometimes they don't get the best deal and they spend more money than they need to. So let's go on. A shop sells 1 litre bottles of water for 99p each. 300 millilitre bottles of water are on offer at 8 bottles for £2. Whitney wants to buy 12 litres of water. Find the cheapest way that she can do this. Pause the video whilst you work this out. Fantastic. So, Whitney wants 12 litres of water. If she bought 1 litre bottles of water for 99p each, and she bought 12 of them to give her 12 litres. How much money would she have spent? That's right, she would have spent £11.88, because 12 times 99 equals 12 times 99p equals £11.88. We could just round up the 99p to a pound. 12 times 12 pounds. 12 times a pound is 12 pounds, and then 12 pounds take away 12p, because it's 12p that we added on, gives us £11.88. If she goes with the second offer, where it says 300 millilitre bottles of water are on offer at 8 bottles for £2, then she would need to do 300 millilitres times 8 would give her 2,400 millilitres of water, which is the same as 2.4 litres of water. But she doesn't want 2.4 litres of water. She wants 12 litres of water. If we do 12 divided by 2.5, we get 5. So, in order for Whitney to get her 12 litres of water, she would need to buy 5 packs of 8. Each pack costs £2, so 5 times £2 equals £10. Which is less, £11.88 or £10? Which one is cheaper? Excellent, it's the £10 offer. So Whitney would find it cheaper to buy 5 packets of 8 bottles of water for £10, saving herself £1.88. If you need some more help with that, like I said, slow it down and go over it. Jack, popular name in test questions, Alex and Amir jumped a total of 12.69 metres in a long jump competition. Alex jumped exactly 200 centimetres further than Jack. Amir jumped exactly 2,000 millimetres further than Alex. What distance did they all jump? Give your answer in metres. So first of all, we know that Jack jumped the least. He didn't jump as far as everyone else. Then Alex was second. Alex jumped the second furthest distance, and then Amir jumped the furthest distance. So already we know that those are the order. So in terms of first, second, and third, Alex was first, Amir was first, Alex was second, and Jack was third. So using that information, there's 3 people competing. What do you need to do with 12.69? Pause the video whilst you try and work it out. Excellent, let's go through the answers. 12.69, well, we know there's 3 people competing, so we're going to try and find the average. 12.69 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 0.69 divided by 3 is 0.23. So our average is 4.23 metres. Now we know that, who was it that was second? That's right, it was Alex. So let's say Alex jumped an average of 4.23 metres. We know Jack jumped exactly 200 centimetres less than him. And we know 200 centimetres is the same as 2 metres. So Jack jumped 2 metres less than him. So he jumped 2.23 metres. Amir, on the other hand, jumped 2,000 millimetres further than Alex. And we know 2,000 millimetres is the same as, yeah, that's right, 2 metres. 2 metres further than Alex makes 6.23. So now we've got our figures. Jack was 2.23, Alex was 4.23, and Amir was 6.23. But we can't just accept that as our answer. We need to add them together and see if we still get 12.69. So using the column method that I've shown on screen, we add them together. 3 plus 3 plus 3, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2 plus 6, and voila, 12.69 metres. Did that make sense? I hope so. If not, you might find some similar questions in your practice paper after this lesson. So there's our figures shown on screen. Dora made a stack of her magazines. Each magazine on the pile is 2.5 millimetres thick. The total height of the stack is 11.5 centimetres high. How many magazines does she have in her pile? Whoa! That looks tricky. If we forget to do, what is it? Good. Make sure we're measuring using the same unit of measure. The magazine has been measured in millimetres, but the total height of the stack has been measured in centimetres. So pause the video and write down your answer. Excellent. One magazine is 0.25 centimeters. When we convert 2.5 millimeters into centimeters, we get 0.25 centimeters. This is the same as a quarter. We know that 4 quarters make a whole. So if I need 4 quarters to make a whole, how many quarters do I need to make 2 holes? Yep, 8. How many quarters do I need to make 11 holes? Yep, 44. Then we've got an extra 2 quarters that are needed to make 0.5, because 2 times 0.25 equals 0.5. So we've got 11, we've got our 44 plus our extra 2. So we've got 46 magazines are in her pile. And one way to check that is to do 11.5 divided by 46. See if you get 0.25. Here is a train timetable showing the times of trains travelling from Halifax to Leeds. So I've lettered them A, B and C to help you. An announcement states that all trains will leave 3/4 of an hour late. What's 3/4 of an hour? Which train will arrive in Leeds closest to 9:07? So first of all, think, what is 3/4 of an hour in minutes? Add that on to the times. Then work out which train will arrive in Leeds closest to 9:07. Pause the video whilst you work it out. Excellent. Train A, going from Halifax to Leeds, is going to arrive at 8:54. Train B is going to arrive at 9:22. 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes, by the way, so you should have added on 45 minutes. And train C will arrive at 9:36. So we have to work out now which one of those times, those new times, is closest to 9:07. So if we look at 8:54 to 9:07, then if we go from 8:54 to 9, that's 6 minutes. And then from 6 to 7 is 13 altogether. Okay, so from the 6 minutes plus the 7 minutes makes 13 minutes. So there's a difference there of 13 minutes. Train B, new arrival time is 9:22. So from 9:07 to 9:22, the difference there is 15 minutes. And train C will arrive at 9:36, and from 9:07 to 9:36 is a difference of 29 minutes. So if we have a look at those differences, which one of those has the lowest difference? Super, it is train A. Well done if you managed to get that. Now let's look at the next question. Jack arrives at the train station at the time shown in the morning. So have a look at the time shown on the clock. Which trains could he catch? Do you think Jack could get the 7:10 a.m. train to York? Could he get the 9:25 a.m. train to New Pudsey? Or how about the 9:42 a.m. train to Bramley? Maybe Jack will get the 10:03 a.m. train to Leeds. Which trains could he catch, and how long will he have to wait for each train when he gets there? Pause the video and work out your answers. Fantastic. So Jack could catch the train to Bramley or Leeds. He can't get the train to New Pudsey because that one left like a while ago, 10 minutes ago to be precise, because he got there at 9:35 and the New Pudsey train left at 9:25. So he's 10 minutes late for that one. And for the train to York, well, he's definitely too late for that one because that one left at 7:10. And as he got there at 9:35, then he is over 2 hours late for that train. However, the Bramley train leaves at 9:42, which is in 7 minutes' time. And the Leeds train leaves at 10:03, which is in 28 minutes' time. So, we've gone through some of our revision questions, applying some of those skills that we've been learning. And in a moment, you're going to do some of that independently with the work that's been sent to you this morning. But your starter, or now our finisher, we're going to go over some of the similar questions we did at the beginning, but see if you can answer them applying the same skills. If I am 156 months old, how old am I in years? Well, we know that there's 12 months in a year, so take that 156 What do you need to divide it by? Use that to help you. Add together the number of days in November and December. How many days is that? Well, remember the rhyme. Use that to help you. Looking at the time, work out 91 minutes. Maybe work it out in hours first and use that to help you. So if you don't need any more resources, pause the video here and answer them. Otherwise, here they are. Excellent. Let's go through the answers. You are 13 years old if you're 156 months old. 61 days in November and December, 30 in November, 31 in December. If it's 11:09, 11:09 plus 91 is the same as 1 hour and 31 minutes. So it becomes 12:09 plus 31 becomes 12:40 a.m. Written 0040. Convert 20,000 millimeters into meters, that's 20 meters. 12 inches in a foot. If a person is 6 foot 6 inches tall, written 6'6", as shown on screen, then how many inches tall are they? Well, 12 times 6 is 72. 72 plus 6 is 78. Which volume is greater? 380 milliliters or 0.38 litres. They are equal. The distance from Harrow to Devon is approximately 128 kilometres. What is this in miles? It is 80 miles. So well done if you managed to get those. So what next? You would have been sent this sheet this morning. There's only 5 questions on it, and I'd like you to, using the skills that we've just discussed and that we've just gone over, I want you to have a go at answering the questions. Remember to email us your work at the email address shown on screen, and if you want to continue your learning today on this subject, I haven't given you much work to do after our lesson, so if you want to, you can always log in to your Mathletics account, where you'll find that we have set you some work related to units of measure on there. Have a great day. Have an amazing day. Have a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful day. Bye.